talk about how you really cannot tell people anything that you got going on. Like, you really have to move in silence. You really have to move in silence. And it's down to the wire of it, you know, like, if it hasn't happened yet, you really have to keep a lid on it until it happens. And even still, just, it's to the point where you might just have to tell people, I don't want to talk about me. I don't want to talk about me. And I'm still trying to figure out the angle, because, like, I was telling people there is something that I'm about to do, and it was close enough, like, you know, it seemed like the ends were tied, and it was close enough for me to, like, tell people, because I had to plan and my schedule was about to change. So I was like, oh, I won't be able to do X, Y, and Z because this thing is going to be taking up space in my life and on my routine. And lo and behold, prior to it happening, there was a stumbling block. There was a road bump, and I had to slow it all the way down. You know, it's still happening, but I had to, like, slow it all the way down. And it was to the point, like, I was like, you know what? When I didn't tell anybody anything, everything was moving. It was like, it was a flow. But as soon as I said something, now this could actually be kind of one of those situations where there is a transition, because I'm being elevated. So usually when you're being elevated, like, there are adjustments that need to be made. And it could be one of those things where it's like, okay, adjustments needs to be made, or if I'm kind of going a little too fast, I need to slow down and do this first. Or it could be just the divine, like, rerouting me and, like, no, I want you to complete this first before you do this. It could very well be that. So I'm trying to, like, just see. But I remember my first thought when the roadblock appeared, the situation that happened to make me slow down, or what transpired in order for me to slow down. I remember I was like, I'm not telling anybody anything else, because I remember as soon as I told somebody something, these things started. It was a sequence of how it happened. Started that same day, and I was like, you know what? Throw away the key. But you know, just kind of slow down, and just be mindful of who you just don't tell nobody anything. Don't tell nobody anything. And then another thing is, when we are approaching that next level, there are things from our past that we have to stop touching. I've been reading Leviticus, and in Leviticus, it goes over the laws. And I'm in chapter 11, and it's going over the laws of what's an abomination and what shouldn't be touched, like carcasses and stuff. And the only thing that came to my mind is, like, low vibrational things, or things that do not feed the spirit. Things that are low frequency, that do not feed the spirit the nutrients that it needs. Don't touch it, and don't try to eat from it, or don't try to get nourishment from it, because all it's going to do is defile you, and all it's going to do is be an abomination to God, and you're going to be unclean for a period of time. You're going to have a cycle of uncleanliness. And uncleanliness can be in a form of clouded thoughts. It could be in a form of no direction, like you don't see things straight. Your path is no longer clear. You're just kind of like, you know, when your phone starts roaming, you have a period of that before you get clarity again. So yeah, don't touch things that have already happened in the past, and that have no more life, and that can't feed you spiritually. All right, I'm checking out.